Every morning, the world is created under the orange sticks of the sun. The heaped ashes of the night turn to leaves again and fasten themselves to the high branches. And the ponds appear like black cloth, on which the painted islands of summer lilies. If it is your nature to be happy, you will swim away along the soft trails for home, your imagination alighting everywhere. And if your spirit carries within it the thorn that is heavier than lead, if it is all that you can do to keep on trudging, there is still somewhere deep within you the beast shouting that the earth is exactly what it wanted. Each pond with its blazing lilies is a prayer heard and answered lavishly every morning, whether or not you have ever dared to be happy, whether or not you have ever dared to pray. My entire life, since I was about 5 years old, I've kept a journal, and I keep a lot of different things in there. I keep my thoughts for the day. I keep a documentation of sort of what has happened in my life. I write down lists. I write down my goals. I sometimes draw. I sometimes am just writing notes about things that I'm thinking, or notes that I'm taking if I'm in a class or something like that. In more recent years, I've come up with a strategy to sort of write down 3 things that I'm grateful for each day, 3 things that are my intentions for the day, and then 3 things that I'm glad I did or I'm happy I did the day before. I'm a morning writer, so I'm always reflecting on the prior day. And you can see from my journals that, I change colored pens and I write different things down. Sometimes I'll listen to a lecture and write notes from it. It's a really helpful way for me to reflect on my life and work through the things that I'm struggling with. At the end of a few months, I'll go through my lists of things that really made me feel good from the day before, and I'll sort of write down what I most enjoy doing, because sometimes it's not that obvious. Sometimes we think it's the really big deal things that we're going to do in our lives. But often for me, it's, talking to my coworkers, having a cup of coffee, reading, working. Sometimes it's cleaning my house. Oftentimes it's very social stuff. But it's not always, the biggest things. It's not going on a trip to Europe, although those are wonderful things. But my daily life, interacting with humans is really the thing that gets me going. So I try to keep these things in mind when I'm making priorities for my life. That yes, I want to have big goals. Yes, I want to be successful. Yes, I want to travel. Yes, I want to, be remembered as a great person. But really, when it comes down to it, my everyday is about my small gratitudes. So I think this is something that I would recommend to everybody who is journaling, or if you're just starting out journaling. Every day you can write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Write down 3 things that you're going to intend to do that day, whether it's a concrete thing or whether it's sort of an emotional intention, like to be positive or, to be grateful. And then write down the 3 best things about that day if you're doing it at night, or the 3 best things about the day before if you're doing it in the morning. So that's my overview of journaling for self-care. And I'll see you again next week for another episode of this month's topic.